Commissioner, Horseman's Park here. I know you've been familiar with it, but you had a chance to take a tour around here recently, and if anyone hasn't been out here in a while, they'll notice some major renovations, and later this month they're really going to notice some huge improvements out here.
Yes, it's been closed for a while to make these improvements, and I think the users of this park will be amazed at the improvements.
And really, it's the county's only outdoor equestrian park. So, I mean, this is really something that has been well utilized for decades and continues to do so.
Absolutely, and it's important to keep it up. It does draw a lot of folks from even out of state to come in at national events. It's a little gem that we have that a lot of people don't even know about.
And in our parks and recreation system, we have a number of places like this that are kind of special use facilities, meaning that basically there's some sort of an agreement. You know, I think the county basically kind of owns the park and we maintain it and build it, but yet then an outside company, Equine Event Management, actually runs the park. Just talk a little bit about that, how that works.
It's been a great partnership. They actually are for profit. I think that's great because then it's an incentive for them to market it. They've gone out and brought in some of the groups to utilize it. Before the group came in to manage, it was used maybe 3/4 of the 9 months that it's open for the equestrian events, and now they have almost every single weekend booked. So it's great, and they have a lot of incentives to do fundraisers and donations to put back into the park. So they're helping to make a lot of these improvements as well.
I think, you know, we can see some of the obvious ones, the new parking and the new signage and fences and things like that that are going up. But I think what most people are going to be happy with that use the park is new footing, which is really a fancy word for dirt, right, Commissioner? You know,
the people that know horses know that that's very important, and I had a really good explanation that the horses need the right kind of dirt to be able to perform and to be comfortable as they trot and walk around. And so I think the horse community will be very happy to see that. I know they still want shade. There's an event center that seats a 1,300 person crowd. It would be very nice in the future to get shade over that, so that's something we'll be working really hard. We did actually get approved Horseman's Park as a candidate, to put forward as a candidate for more SNPLMA, Southern Nevada Public Land Management money, and hopefully that will come about so we can get some shade.
And you mentioned some of the numbers here, 1,300 seat grandstand area. There's 20 acres here at Horseman's Park, 320 permanent stalls, and 8 barns. And as you said, it was $1 million grant from SNPLMA money that initiated this funding. Talk a little bit about how SNPLMA kind of works.
When the BLM sells land around Southern Nevada, a portion of that money is put into a fund, and most of that money, a good share of that money, comes in to do projects in Southern Nevada. They're very specific about the kind of projects that can be done, and so when we put forward applications, we know that it has to be in very specific categories for use for the whole community. They really like to do trails and this kind of a setting. So we've been very fortunate to get a lot of that funding to help Horseman's Park.
So that initial round of $1 million, as the improvements that we just mentioned, how do we determine which projects, which facilities are going to use this money?
It's actually a vote of the commission. Oh. That we bring forward projects and prioritize them, and then the staff will write out the applications, and then they're turned into the BLM, who chooses the projects.
And you said there is another round of money coming, and you're requesting, or the commission is debating whether another $1 million would come out here, and you say a shade cover.
Right, and we actually approved Horseman's Park and a Trail and Searchlight, I believe, as the 2 projects we're putting forward to receive this round of money.
So I think the taxpayers should be pretty happy that this is coming from a different funding pot type of thing. This isn't just raising property taxes or going to the...
Exactly. It's a great use of the funds, and we try to choose projects that are regional that lots of people can enjoy. And Horseman's Park, I would invite folks to come out here. Most of the events are free and open to the public, and people come and watch the equestrian events. It's wonderful for families, very family friendly.
And how does the county generate revenue then from a place such as this one?
The events that take place, a lot of times some of the events they'll charge, or the event promoters will pay a fee.
Sure.
And then the management company takes their cut of that for their services, and then the rest will go into the county.
Commissioner, I know there's even some connectivity coming here at Horseman's Park, that the trail system, Wetlands Park, is just a couple miles to the south and east of us, I guess, where we're actually sitting here. Talk a little bit about that, how that's going to kind of link together a portion of that trail system.
Right, some of the money is going into a trail, and that's being built to the edge of the property, and at some point it will connect to the Wetlands Park trails, and that's very exciting. And it was very interesting in my tour, things that I would never think about as a non-expert on horses, but they're trying to make the trail so that it's horse friendly, and moving it out as far as they can to eventually connect. So that'll be wonderful, and eventually connect into the whole trail system in the valley.
That's the River Mountain Loop Trail and part of the Vegas Valley Rim Trail, which is, again, a multi-jurisdictional trail system. Tell us a little bit about that trail system and how that's really making tracks all across Clark County.
And the River Mountain Loop system is being connected. In fact, there is much of it connected in Henderson, down to Lake Las Vegas, over to Boulder Dam, and miles of trail with some great views. I know several members of our family have gone, and it's really quite amazing what you can see, the beauty of it. And the vision is that someday, I think it's nearly 60 miles of trails that will loop around the entire valley.
And why is that important to our constituents? Are your constituents clamoring for more trails?
Yes. People love to use the outdoors. I think these trail systems are wonderful to promote family activities and fitness and just the use of the outdoors. And 9 months of the year we can use that. We're very fortunate in southern Nevada.
Sure, sure. Commissioner, let's change gears a little bit. I know the Grapevine Springs grand opening is going to take place sometime in September. They were set back a little bit due to recent flooding and things like that, but we had a chance to visit that pocket park, which is actually on the periphery of a trail also.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about Grapevine Springs.
Yeah, and that's another great project at Neighborhood Park. They're utilizing the wash going through the park, and that was part of the problem when we had the heavy rains recently. It did some damage in the park, so it is setting the opening date back a couple of weeks. But the natural wash is being incorporated into it, as well as a trail going around it, and there's a dog runs in it, as well as some tot lots. So it'll be a very nice place for families to go.
Another piece of groundbreaking facility, or what's going in there, is something called Code Blue, which is something I know we discussed on our last show, but they have it at UNLV and also at Town Square, I believe. And basically, this is a great thing. Tell us a little bit about Code Blue.
It's a blue phone that can be picked up and used in case of an emergency. And Park Police had done some investigation into that and found that it's a deterrent to crime. Even if it's not used that much, a lot of times crime is prevented just because it's there. So it's nice it's being used. That's the first park that it's being used in. We'll see how that goes. If it seems to be a deterrent, I think it'll be used in other parks as well.